Welcome. My name is Trish. Welcome to my tarot obsession. So I know a lot of you are also obsessed with tarot cards, and I just want to start by saying thank you so much to all of you that purchase all of my decks. So there's a few of you out there that purchase all of the decks that I have, and I know you're obsessed as what I am, and it's so great to share an obsession with you. So, and if there's anything you ever want me to create, just let me know. Now I'm letting you know today what's new, what's coming up, what I'm working on, and what's new to come in, that arriving in with me, as well as personal decks as well. So let's get started with this deck first of all. This is my latest deck, my new antique tarot. It's antique because it's old-fashioned pictures. It's kind of muted palette in the mauves, and for me it's all about color because I like it to match my sets. And these sets very soon are going to be available as well. So I have lots of beautiful sets, and I'm going to make them available for you to read on as well. But for now, so these decks are in my normal regular cards that I get. These ones have the beautiful gold edging. They are the beautiful superior quality finish with that gloss edge. If you can see the light shining on them there, get that light to wiggle there. Yeah, glossy edge. They shine and they just glide when you're shuffling. They can do that fancy shuffling here. So they're a nice size that fit within your hand to do that easy kind of shuffling. Now let me tell you what makes my decks different to other decks. So now that you can have, if you're a beginner for tarot, I suggest always go to your Rider-Waite to learn tarot from, because they are the correct deck to learn from, I believe. They've got a lot of symbology in them. I do put symbology in mine as well, keeping in line with traditional symbology meanings from the tarots. But I do believe that the Rider-Waite is the best one to learn on, because it's teaching you the fundamentals of tarot in the correct way. So if you know your tarot, then you can further enhance any of these cards here that's on here. If you don't know tarot at all, you can still read from these because they have key words on them. So let me show you. This one here is the Three of Swords. So you can see Three of Swords, he looks sad or upset, and you can see that's what the Three of Swords means. It's all about heartache or separation or disappointment. So, and you can see from his face, that's what it is. He's got three swords in his hand. So I do kind of keep with traditional meanings here. Now, this gives you one key word for the Three of Swords in the upright position. If you know more, you can further enhance that, or you can read intuitively by reading off the image. If it falls out in the reverse position, like this one, it shows you the keyword for the reverse position. So it's the same image on both sides, but it's got a little R there, which means reverse. So then you're getting your keyword for the reverse message. So here it says healing. So that's what makes mine unique, is that they are reverse cards, and they give you keywords for each of the meanings. So they're really good to read from in that way. Now, I don't believe in, well, personally, I don't use guidebooks. Some of my decks have PDF guidebooks available, but I feel, and my intention when I'm creating cards is that for you to be able to read them intuitively, because it's all about your intuition when you're reading. The cards are just tools. They're just a tool to your intuition. So it's not about getting a guidebook, and guidebooks logic. So when you're reading, you're going into that left brain logic. So when you're reading a book, your left brain logic, taking information in, interpreting it, expressing it, communicating it. It's all logic process. When you're reading cards or doing intuitive work, you are right-brained. So you're putting yourself in that relaxed trance state, and you're just going off intuition. So you're relying on imagery, you're relying on your senses in your body, you're relying on storytelling, I believe, as well. That's how I make my cards, so they're storytellers. So each of the cards, you sit side by side, they tell stories. So you just use your three meanings at the top here. I don't know what's on these ones. What do we have? We've got movement, we have got despair, and we have got stability. Okay, so this here as a story would tell me that somebody needs to make some kind of movements in their lives to get a bit more stability in their lives, because they're at the moment they're feeling a level of despair. They're feeling a level of despair of their current situation. So all their despairing a move that's coming up, but they do need to get some kind of stability in their life, because their life at the moment is in despair or not quite going well. So they do need to make moves in their life to get a little bit more stability. So that's how I read as a story. I use the 3 words and I put them together on how they would read as a story. That's just how I read, and that's how I create the cards to engage in your storytelling. Storytelling is a creative process. It falls into that right brain energy where you're telling a story, you're creating, you're being creative, and that's why intuition falls in those same lines. It falls along that right brain. You've got to be in that level of creativity. So that's why I create the cards in the way that I do, where they're usually one strong word, so you can form a story or create a story, which is most of the time blows me away, because it is the story of the person you're reading for, and that's the intention, and that's what cards are meant to do. Cards are just a tool for an intuitive person. You read further by your feelings, the words you hear, the images you see, the imagery and the pictures. They're just a tool for our intuition. So that's why I don't really do the guidebooks, because I believe in encouraging you to read through intuition, and that's done by storytelling. It's done by emotions and feeling and getting sensory input onto what the card is speaking to you about on a personal level, not what it says in a guidebook. Because what you're essentially doing is pulling yourself out of your state where you've got your cards lined up there and you're in this reading state, you're right brained, you're being creative, you're getting intuition, you're getting guidance, and then you'll go pick up your guidebook and you start reading. You're switching straight over into right brain left brain logic thought. So that's why I don't do it, and that's why I encourage and create cards that are to enhance your intuition. They build upon your intuition and strengthen your intuition. That's my intention when I create decks. So that's my one that's out at the moment. That's my newest creation, is my tarot, because I have another tarot that I use, which is my creation as well. I do use other tarots as well when I'm doing personal readings, but I wanted something that looked better on my sets, that was not just too colorful and just beautiful neutral palette in those mauvey tones. That's why I've created that one there. So what has gone out of stock is the predictions deck. Now, I thought I had enough in stock because I've ordered the new batch to come in, and I thought I had enough in stock to tie me over until the new ones arrive, but I had a spike and they sold out in one night basically. So they're now out of stock. So the new stock has been ordered. I'm waiting. It should be within 2 weeks, and I'll have them back in again. Same as always, my beautiful gold glossy beautiful messages, perfect for reading predictions, great for political reading, great for reading on celebrities, the monarchy, also great for addition to the true crime reading as well, because I sometimes read these, it's just reading off the top of the deck here. If this is true crime, joined forces, it would be 2 people coming together to in the crime. So 2 people involved here, and joined forces involved here, to either joining forces to solve the crime, like different people coming together to solve the crime, or a number of people coming together to commit the crime. So joint forces in some way. So it also can be definitely read with the true crime deck as well. Reads beautifully with that true crime deck. Same size, same color, same edges, same style of card. So they read really nicely together and look good on your mat together. Next up for me is what I'm working on. I've been asked, this one here is the next one up. It will be, I've still got to order the true crimes, going to be out of stock shortly, so I will have to reorder that one. Now, I'd like to order every deck that I have in high quality quantities and have them all, but they're so expensive, so I can't order them all at the same time. I have to do one at a time. So the next one that I'll be ordering will be restocking the True Crime deck, because they will run out of stock soon. That one is very popular and sells very well. So that one there is kind of gets very low on stock, so I need to restock that one. But this is the one people have been asking me to order as my next one. So this one I am thinking, and I love the colors on this one. I just love the palette with this one. They've got the gold borders on the inside, but they've got the gold edging on the outside. So let me show you this one. Gold edging here. Like always, a beautiful superior quality finish gloss. Now, what these are used for is they're based on astrology. So I've completed my astrology study now, and when you're doing like North Node, South Node in astrology, that talks about your life purpose in this life, what you come here to achieve, and your South Node is all about the skills that you bring in from past lives. So these cards are based on those kind of principles. It works the same way. So it gives you an indication of what you're coming into in this life to work on, what your mission is, what your skills you're bringing in for past lives. And I did this video before, but I had no sound on, and when I pulled the cards, it said many lives. That's my past life card in this deck, and it was Spirit was telling me to tell you how you can do a spread for yourself and look at all the different past lives that you had. So that's what I did as an example in that reading. So I might get to that. But here it was saying methodical and thoughtful would be somebody that's coming into this life to learn to be more thoughtful, or learn to plan things out a little bit better. Perhaps they were risk takers in their past life. So this life they've got to come back and learn to be more thoughtful, or really think about the things that they do. This one here is where others fear to tread. So I would say this is more like a Scorpio energy, somebody that's coming in with a Scorpio North Node, and they're having to learn how to live on the edge a little bit, delve into mysteries, or even things that people are scared of, like mediumship and paranormal and things like that. So it's about engaging in those kind of things. You're coming in this life to learn to do that, because that's something that you need to learn, that there's more out there, that not to be fearful of it. Maybe you had an indoctrinated life on your past life where you were very indoctrinated by a religion that said that this stuff is very bad. It told you all the fearful things about it, and it really scared you in that life. So this life you're coming back to get balance and understand that I know there's good and bad. I know what's out there. There's definitely good and bad, and you definitely have to have protections when you're doing your work. But it's like not being afraid to do those things, because you're living a life where you're not indoctrinated like you were in the past life. Now, if I was to pull a couple of cards, for instance, just say I'm reading for myself and I want to know what my past lives were. What were some of the possible past lives that I had? Okay, so past lives. I won't read that one. I'll read the bottom one that's already flipped. Yep, that one there. Okay, so and funny, this does definitely stand out to me, because this would tell me that I had a past life where I was in maybe like a public figure, or recognized. I had to look a certain way, act a certain way, because I was scrutinized by the public or something like that. I was I was noticed. I was a leader or a ruler, or somebody that people looked up to. So that shows me that was one of my past lives. So that shows me that I bring skills into this life about those kind of skills. I bring some of that with me from a past life. But that's a Leo South Node. A Leo South Node is somebody that was perhaps like a ruler or a leader or public figure, and I had one before this one. And so this means this life I come in to be more unique, do things that are more about me, not be trapped by traditional mainstream things that everybody else is into, to be unique and to be different. So not to care what other people think about what I do and how I look. So I'm not so reliant upon what public opinion is, because I'm not really, I'm not a leader of any kind. So in that way. So I do understand, like, I'm on YouTube, but that's like so tiny. So it's a bit different to what my past life was. And perhaps the reason I am on YouTube now is because I do have some kind of skills from a past life where I was okay to be a public speaker. I used to maybe do a stand up in crowds or stand up in forums or something, and I was in some way a public figure, or I was a leader of some sort. So I have some kind of inbuilt skills in me that makes me okay to do what I do today. But the life that I'm in this one is being able to be more unique and different to everybody else, and not have to fit in with everybody else, and be okay to be on the fringe. So that's where my North Node is. And sometimes when you're doing your North Node, it's all about it's difficult. You'll find it challenging. So I do find it challenging to be in big groups. So and maybe that's what challenges are. The challenges are to be different and be very public about it. So whereas I'm into astrology and I'm into tarot and I'm into spirit work and all of that kind of stuff, I was in the closet for a long time and wouldn't tell anybody. So, and that's the big thing. You come into this life as a North Node to learn to do those things and not be afraid of those things, where it took me a very long time to come out of the spiritual closet and actually say, hey, I'm weird and I'm okay with it, and this is all the weird stuff that I like to do or I'm into. So that is my purpose in this life, is to learn to be okay with being a bit weird or being on the fringe. And then here, another one of my past lives is could have been, I was very dominating in the way I thought. I didn't listen to anybody else. So I would have been a person that did my own thing, didn't take other people's opinions very seriously. But I've got to come in here to this life and accept other people's opinions, accept that other people have different ideas to me, and accept those things. Now, this one here as a past life would have been, it could have been a past life saying that I had a challenging past life. One of my past lives was very challenging, but I grew a lot from that life. It was a life filled with many challenges in all areas of my life, but I grew a lot from that life, is what it's saying. And this one here could be a past life that I had where I had to learn to be more accepting of other people. So this just shows you a way of doing your own past lives. You can do this for friends and family. You can do this for other people. I always love to do these ones in the pick a card readings, because I think it gives a really nice addition to the pick a card reading. So this one here is one that people have been asking me to order. So it will be one that will be coming up very soon to be available for purchase. The other card that is coming up soon is this one here. Now this is, you can see the difference in sizes. This is the size that you can do the shuffling. It's nice to hold in your hand. This one is just so big. So I love it, and I used to have all my cards ordered in this size because I loved the imagery. It'd show my pictures better, it would show the work better, and it was just so much nicer to look at, but it's just not practical to use or to shuffle with. So I've been resizing all of my decks down to the smaller size. So this one's the one that I've just completed. I've changed it a little bit. I feel I've changed some of the wording, I've changed some of the meanings. Cards that came out and they didn't really sit well with me, I've changed those. I've changed some of the images in here, but I've still kept with this beautiful palette of fairy floss and sugar. So it's lots of like pastel-y colors. I think there's 5 different pastel color suits in this one here, and they all have different meanings on here, and they're just beautiful. So what I love these ones for is these are my positive cards. So if I've doing pick a card readings and I feel like the world's just got so much negativity in it, or if I've just come off a round of doing true crime readings that have been very intense and very heavy, and I'm like, oh, I just want to read positive things, I just want positive messages, I'll always go to this deck, because it is the cards that come out and say things in such a nice, beautiful way. This one, of course, is telling you that you need to put your health first, think more about your health, but it's got a nice little message down the bottom that says it in a sweet way. It's talking about all kinds of different things that we all go through, but it says them in such a beautiful, positive way. So it gives sweet, positive, sugar-coated messages. So when you just want to, read nice positive things, bright colors, beautiful colors, it's just a really nice deck to read. So that one's coming up. I'll order a small number of that one. As I said, I had to order it in a smaller size for me, so when I'm reading it side by side with my pick a card readings, they go well together, where at the moment they're all over the place. I like them nice and neat. So that's why I thought I'll reorder it for myself in the size that's easy to read with. But then I thought I might order a small order of that one just to be available, because it won't be as popular as the other decks, but it's still such a beautiful deck to have. So that one's coming as well. Other things I'm working on for myself is a deck of cards that has gold words on them, so gold edges. I'm not sure if I'm having the gold edges on, because I might be doing a round deck, a circle deck, just for something different, but it's got beautiful gold words on them, and it's going to give places and dates. So it'll have months in there, it'll have locations in there. So when I'm doing the prediction cards, I might be able to use these word cards and might be able to get a month, or I might be able to get an actual specific place. So that's what I'm creating them for. But then they've got lots of other words. I think there's like 144 words in this deck, so all gold and all beautiful, lots of nice coloring, beautiful colors in these decks. And yeah, I'm excited about those ones, but I'll work with those ones for a little while and work out if I want to release those ones. I am also working on a couple of personalized decks at the moment for other people, and I'm about to quote on a couple more that's been asked quotes for personalized decks. So I'm about to send out a couple of quotes for personalized decks for people and the different options you can get with those. So that's what's coming up. That's what I'm working on, and I just want to thank you once again for all the people that have been purchasing the decks and share my obsession with Oracle cards. If there's anything that you would like created, just send me a message, and I'll put that in my to-do list. Thank you so much.